some of the diseases that we suffer from, all right, let me call them conditions, because diseases, at least we know what is causing them. Some of the conditions that most of us suffer from are hypochondric. Hypochondria means you imagine it, you become. Okay, and all this is actually hailing from one center, a center of lack of an identity, and that's the reason why I deemed it fit to talk about identities on this live. Okay, and I made it intentional that every single Friday we shall be here fixing your identities. I want to tell you if at all anger is you, or you just picked a fake identity that came from those who taught you how to hate and how to become angry, those who actually imposed their anger on you. And they thought that if they do that, they'll make themselves feel better, only to realize after doing that, they did not even feel any better, okay? And then the only thing they had to do is to actually hate you. Some women look at their children and see their fathers in these children, and then they hate these children, so they portray the angers that come with their father to these children. Some men also hate their women because they are weak males, so they hate their women, they hate starting from their mothers, and they think they love them. But they love without providing. How is that even making sense? So they end up portraying this anger to other people and trying to recruit other people. I'm also telling you this for free because I want you to see how people transfer anger. During the COVID season, people who had this fear and emotions and doubt, the fat people, are the ones who are making rules for other people. They are the ones who are so insecure and they wanted other people to wear masks so that they can protect them. Imagine that. Imagine a fat person telling you to wear a mask so that you can protect them from getting COVID, yet they are the ones who have very weak immunities. So lean people ended up suffering. People who had very strong immunities ended up suffering because of people who have been diagnosed with diabetes, who have asthma, and these chronic conditions. And that is so insane. That's why we put up these Identity Fridays, to just fix what needs to be fixed, okay? And that is just amazing. So let's talk about fear. Sonny Big, thank you so much already for starting to gift us, okay? There's something called fear, and when I'm talking about this fear, I'm not talking about the normal fear or the practical fear. And when I say fear, I mean fear, anger. So I'll use the word fear to generalize anger, the same fear, doubt, worries, concern, love. I'm putting that love in quotes, okay? And because fear is actually the cousins to all those. So I'm going to talk about the fear, and I'm going to use it to actually demonstrate those 5 terms or so that I've just mentioned. So when I'm talking about fear, I'm not talking about this fear that you guys, when you're trying to cross a road and you see somebody put you into your fear by telling you when you're trying to cross a road, look left, look right, look left again, and then cross. I'm not talking about that fear. I'm not also talking about the fear of heights. I'm not talking about the fear of walking into a dark street and you're so worried about that. Esther Mulera from Mombasa, karibu sana. Okay, so I'm not talking about that practical fear. I'm talking about the fear that's within you, the anger that is within you. Most of you are just angry people. You're walking on these roads, you're angry. And it's not you. You've actually normalized it, just the same way women have normalized painful menstruation, the polycystic, what is that? The reproductive health issues, how they've normalized menopause, how men are now normalizing erectile dysfunction and vasectomy. This is the fear that I'm talking about. This is inside of you. That's what I'm talking about. Because when I'm fixing identities, I'm talking about the spiritual aspect of life. Remember, you can never fix the physical aspect without the spiritual and the mental. So the spiritual controls the mental, and then the mental controls the physical. So therefore, it's so hard. That's why you get into a weight loss group. You lose weight today, and after a month, you've put up so much weight. This is the reason, because you never fixed your spiritual aspect of life. You concentrated on the physical, and that is just a symptom of a messed up spirit. Okay, when you get angry at people because you expect things from them, that is what the fear that I'm talking about, because that hails from a center of anger, of lack, of need. So you feel you're so inadequate and you have to portray this to other people. That is what I'm talking about, okay? Yeah, so this inner fear, most people don't even understand where it's coming from. I always ask people, do you have anger? On most of my consultations, I'll ask you, do you have anger? And I realized everybody keeps on running away from that question. When I ask them, do you have anger? The first thing they tell me, no, I don't have anger issues. And I'm like, no, I did not ask you if you have anger issues. I asked, do you have anger? They will run away until I pin them down, because they realize I'm so persistent with that question. And now they say, okay, I have anger, and and then they defend it. I'm human, so therefore humans are supposed to have anger. That is not true. There are people who actually lead a healthy life without having anger. And that's the reason why we have this live again. Okay, so this fear that is coming within you that you don't even understand where it's coming from, it is something that is put into you. It is not you. Okay, and these things that you always overthink, thinking that you need to be successful, success, building a brand, and all these are the spirit of evil. You've actually allowed the spirit of evil to settle and build a home inside of you. And that is what is controlling you. Therefore, when you stop identifying with your thoughts, when you stop identifying with your imaginations, you become free of anger. The only problem is all of you, and you will see, when I'll be talking to people here, you'll see how I ask them questions, how they will be answering. You'll simply know they're either trying to run away from their past or they're trying to chase a future that they don't even have. So all of us want the success, but the impression of that success has been skewed, because if I ask you what is success, you don't have an answer. Okay, you're thinking vehicles, you're thinking good houses and all these material things. But I keep telling you that even the Christians know that the Bible says, seek ye first and the rest shall be added unto you. So the problem with human beings is we are constantly seeking the rest, but we forget to seek the spirit of good. So we are constantly seeking others that are supposed to be added when we seek the truth. And when I'm talking about the spiritual aspect of life, I am not going to generalize it. I'm not going to talk about Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, nothing. This is not religion. So do not bring your religion energy here. Come here with an open mind to listen and understand. Because I realized anytime I touch this issue, everybody's like, oh, now they become so religious. Again, the spirit of devil is just talking into their minds. And they think they're so religious and they cannot be challenged. So sit back with your religion and just listen to spirituality. It's not about religions, about identities. Okay, so this fear inside you is the one that actually leads you to these people who have degrees, the psychiatrists, the psychologists, the priests, and you're thinking that the anger that is inside you can actually walk away just because a priest put a hand on your head and prayed for you. You're thinking because you sat into a psychiatrist consultation room and this guy read a manual to you, a whole manual called DSM-4-5, read it to you, and then decided that now you are depressed, that now you have anxiety. Okay, and now labeled that, guarded the spirit of evil with a new name, because that's what we do all the time. We simply guard the spirit of evil and now rename them. We call them anxiety, we call them depression, we call them overthinking, we call them OCD, we call them ADHD, we call them PTSD. All these nonsense names that you guys use without even understanding the meaning of these things are exactly lack of identities, and most of you don't have identities. And I will tell you this, you don't have an identity because when you were born, whatever you adapted was an identity that was coming from your mother. And why am I saying your mother? I'm saying that because mothers are the ones who are supposed to raise children. Now, career women, forgive me on this. Mothers are the ones who are supposed to raise children to a stoic man, not a male. Because most of you are just married to males. So, mothers are supposed to raise children from a stoic man. Now, it is the role of the fathers, who are these stoic men, to come back after working and after going to look forward to provide, to come back and correct the emotional aspects of the mother that was actually being input in the children when the fathers were away. Listen to that keenly. Fathers go out to work to make sure that they provide exclusively. Mothers are the ones who are supposed to take care of children from a stoic man. So a stoic man gives you children and then he provides exclusively. That means you will forego your job to raise children for this man. Now, whatever you take it, and this is a truth that you women will not accept it, but this is the truth. When you choose career over your children, you actually hate those children. And the reason why you're choosing a career over these children is because your man is so weak, he cannot provide. He's expecting you to work also so that you share 50-50 or 70-30. Nonsense. You chose the wrong one. I will not say for the 13th time, but I said it anyway. So you chose the wrong guy. Now it's up to you to own your mistakes, seek forgiveness, get an identity, and move forward. So you own up to your mistakes and you take responsibility. But the order of God is God above Christ, for those who are Christians, and then Christ above men, and men above women, and women above children. That's the order of life, whether you like it or not. But nowadays, look at you trying to make sure that men and women are equal. You know very well, even men and men are not equal. But you're busy trying to compete because of the Western agenda that men and women are equal. When you're busy trying to chase that agenda, now depression is setting in, and guess who benefits? The big pharma, because of antidepressants. And now they are a big thing. Antidepressants are a big thing. So inside of you, you have anger. And of course, it's not your problem because you are set up with your parents because they did not even know God. Most of you don't know God. You know about him because you've heard about him. You've been taken to churches. You've been taken to mosques to pray and to be taught about God. But you don't know about God. You don't know God. You simply know about him. That is the intellect controlling you because somebody put that in you. Somebody taught you about God. Somebody taught you about God. And that's what I'm trying to actually make sure that you get to know God on your own. Because every child is born with light. Every child is born with the scripture inside their heart. It doesn't matter what religion you are, but you're born with the scripture inside their heart. That's why children, when they die, they go straight to heaven. Because they have identities of good. But as these children start growing up, the one who puts the identities in them is the one who is raising them. And now suppresses the spirit of light, suppresses the identity of these children, and imparts their spirit into them. And remember, if a woman is married to a weak man, let me call them a weak male, what is going to happen is this woman starts to resent this male because this woman is relying on this man for security. But this is the man who is exposing insecurities all over. When your woman is trying to go to the gym to just maintain fitness for you, you're now starting to complain. Oh, there's a gym trainer that you're going to follow. Oh, because Dr. Lewis just posted a video about going to the gym. Now you're going to the gym. That is your evil nature. That is your insecurity. Fix it, sir. Fix it. So these weak men, and there are so many of them, 60 to 70% of males out here are so weak that they're allowing women to resent them. And apparently, these 70% of the males that are married are the weakest. They are the weakest because they do not understand the order of God, and that's why they share bills with women. Now, these women resent them, and because these women cannot do anything about these men, because of course physically you're stronger and you're emotional, you can end up just beating them up. These women transfer this anger to the children. When they transfer this anger to the children, now the children suffer because this woman is trying to impart hate in this child. Trying to teach this child hate. Whenever you're leaving home to go for work, do you know what your wife is telling the children? That she's the one who is paying bills. That she's the one who is actually struggling with you as your father is busy trying to oppress her. That's the exact words that women tell these children. Because they hate you. But in real sense, these women don't hate you as a man. No. They hate themselves for making the wrong choice of choosing or picking a male. And they were set up by their parents. That's the most annoying thing. Because how many of you, your mothers are busy telling you that you have to go to school, be independent of the man. And then when you get to your 30s, your 35, you're headed to your 40s, there is no man who can actually stand you. They're actually going for the younger version of you. You start getting angry. How many of you have been taught that? You've been taught the wrong idea of life and success. And yet success is just the nature of evil because that is you trying to compare yourself with other people. You came alone, you will live alone. Who told you you need to compare yourself with other people? Now that's where depression comes in. That's where anxiety comes in. That's where doubt comes in. And that is the nature of fear, that is the nature of anger that was put in you by a parent. So instead of these men trying to fix themselves to be stronger for these women so that they train these women how to train or raise their children, they are busy complaining everywhere. You've seen men putting all their life on the internet. You've seen that? Their private life is on the internet. A whole grown ass man with this pot belly that is called chairman, posting the wife and children on the internet. Imagine that. Posting a naked wife on the internet just because these are pregnancy photo shoots. You've seen that? They do it all the time. And they are also naked. And imagine me sitting with my wife trying to choose the best naked picture to post for the public. Because by the time you're posting it, that is the best naked picture. So you're going through those pictures, all of them, eliminating those that actually they don't show the privacy so well. And now you choose one that is most naked and you post it for us. And guess what? Nowadays, men are so interested in pregnant women. I don't know what is it about pregnant women. I don't know if it's the progesterone that is produced during pregnancy that makes women who are pregnant very attractive. So every man wants that pregnant woman. And you're busy posting that pregnant woman. When I was growing up, we used to believe that children are actually bought in the supermarkets or the plane will drop a child. So your mother goes and disappears, goes to hospital. When they come back, they've given birth, you're told that they bought this child in the supermarket, and we believed it. And that's why even now, you as an adult, you can hardly believe that your father and your mother can have sex. True or false? If somebody tells you, hey, these guys, somebody comes from the bedroom brushing their teeth, the other one comes from the bedroom doing something else, and you believe these guys cannot touch each other, you still believe that up to now because sexual life and private life was put private. But look at you now. Look at you posting yourself naked and you have children. What are you teaching these children? Look at you as a man trying to pick the best naked picture for your wife to post on the internet. Look at you. And now you're wondering why you have all these effeminate men out here. And now women are raising sons because men are absent. So women are busy imparting their identities in these sons, and they become so emotional, they become so evil, and it's not them. It is the spirit of the evil that has actually built a home in them, and it controls them, because whatever you identify with controls you. Look at you telling us you love your children, and you know very well whatever you love becomes your God, and therefore it controls you. Look at you telling us, oh, I love my mom. And now your mom becomes your God, and now she controls you, and you cannot stand her. You start to resent her, you become just like her. And now you attract older women. And now you attract women who are emotional and chaotic just like your mother. And then you judge and you ask God, why me? Why did you give me this type of woman? No, it's not God who gives you a woman. It is you who chose that woman. And you chose that woman because you attracted who you are. It is that simple. We attract who we are. So as you sit back and say, oh, I hate my wife. No, you hate yourself for making very wrong choices in life. So you're actually a very bad decision maker. Oh, I hate this man. You don't hate that man. You hate you. Because you attracted who you are. It is that simple. So the fear that I'm talking about is this fear that takes you to psychiatry rooms and in the priest's houses to go and kneel down for a priest to put a hand on you and start praying for you so that you can become better. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Your priest does not even know God. He knows about God. That's why he just combines different scriptures and then makes a sermon out of these scriptures. And now he comes and puts the information in you. And that is intellect. And as I say all the time, intellect is evil. Same to your thoughts and imaginations. Whatever is in your kyongs is evil. Because the devil knows how to manipulate you through your own thoughts. And most of you even make a prayer from their minds. Oh, I want God to bless me with this. Oh, I want this. I want this. You're actually making a prayer from their mind. So you're making a prayer to the devil. The heaven that you're thinking about that is above here is not there. It is in your heart. And that's why I say, welcome to this side of heaven. Okay? Welcome to this side of heaven. And now this priest prays for you and nothing is happening. And then he advises you, now you have to see the doctor. The same priest who is praying for you to get off that anxiety, he's anxious, he's depressed. Because there are no people who are coming in that church. You've seen them trying to show you how much of offering they have gotten. And they are so angry about the offering. But the churches are still full because masses are gullible. They are so gullible. And now you're thinking that your health problem is actually coming from you where? And now you have to find solutions in a hospital. And then you go to a hospital, and because you have fear, doubt, and concern inside of you, which is the nature of evil, now the doctor uses that to manipulate you, and the big pharma benefits. And that's why the number one role of a doctor is to sell you fear. Oh, hypertension is irreversible. Oh, diabetes is irreversible. That's a fat doctor telling you that. It is very irreversible. You cannot reverse this. Oh, this is genetics. You cannot do anything about genes. That is your doctor selling you fear. Once you buy the fear successfully, perfect. He can now make you a slave. And I want you to look at it this way. During COVID season, our Minister of Health sold us fear every afternoon on live television. He sold us fear. Even people who died from malaria were actually classified as people who died from COVID. And now the fat experts trying to make these guidelines for you. And these same fat experts are wearing masks, and they are dictating that you have to wear a mask and social distance. Because they know they are the ones who will suffer because of diabetes and pre-diabetes, because of their pot bellies and low immunities. But they are dictating life to somebody who is healthy. Imagine that. And you bought the fear. Once you bought the fear, of course the fear was just inside you. They activated it. And now you became a slave. And now the next thing was solutions in form of vaccines. And of course, all of you with your pot bellies, you ran to take the vaccines. And then you were told, and then another fear was sold to you, that if you don't take these vaccines, you will not access government offices. You will not do any government job. And the fear now settled in. Oh, because you think you need a government job to be complete. You have the spirit of evil inside of you because you feel inadequate. You think something from outside you will actually come and make you complete. It cannot. You're thinking your spouse will come and complete you. Oh, you know, I cannot do without you. That is fear and the nature of evil. Oh, you know, I love you so much and I'll die if you leave me. That is spirit of evil. Oh, you know, I love my children. I cannot leave them. Spirit of evil. Zebra is saying, I took 3 vaccines. Yes, you took 1, 2, and then booster shots and all that. And then now the same company comes out and says, you know, our vaccines are crazy. They cause cardiomyopathy. We accept, but they've sold billions. Daktari, kunywa maji. Yeah.